This week we're going... Nailed it. This week we're going grassroots with a very small batch release from the Anglesey Mon Distillery. Whiskey with a G. Single malt? Got no idea.
Yeah, and if you know how to pronounce a word with an O with a hat on it, please let us know, because we're not sure. Is it Mon? Is it Moin? Is it Mon? Who knows?
And if you'd like to, follow us on social media and stuff, we have all that covered. At Whisky and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whisky and Things on Facebook and Twitter.
And you know what? Please, we've done 99 of these now. If you haven't already, please give us a rating. You could go on to your little rating thing and say, that was an episode for Miss Superb. Or don't let us put words into your mouth. Don't let us do that at all. Be yourself, because that's what's really cool.
You're listening to Whisky and Things with Nick Kent and Dave Giles.
Welcome to episode 99, otherwise known as 99. What's the bingo call for 99, Nick?
2 dead swans. I don't know.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
2 dead swans. Amazing. I'm Dave Giles.
And I'm Nick Kent. Welcome, everyone. That was a great start.
Oh, amazing.
There might be others. I'm sure there's going to be others. That's just the first thing that came to mind.
It's so good. It's so good.
I don't see many, especially 2 of them at the same time.
Hey, are you going out somewhere, Nick? Because you got your jacket on.
No, I've got a nice selection of summer jackets, which I'm not wearing at the moment. So I figured I'd wear it indoors because it still kind of keeps me a little bit warm. I'm wearing a light grey biker style jacket.
Very smart.
I've had it a few years, but it's hard. It's hard to find the occasion to go out wearing this jacket.
What better than episode 99?
Exactly. There you go. I thought I'd dress up for our listeners.
No, I like it.
Oh, no, not even for our listeners. For our Instagram followers.
Yeah, I think I spilt something down my hoodie, so I also have dressed up for you.
Nice. It's nice you made an effort for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm used to it now. 19. I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Mate,
Yeah.
what?
Well, it's a podcast. I always forget we do these little video things.
Yeah, I can tell.
Who's watching? Who's watching them?
I don't know. We have
Well, there you go. I'm sure they are. The thing, I think it's a good contrast. I think it shows off our personalities. Someone who pays attention to how they look versus someone who doesn't. I mean, does what it says on the tin, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Look at who's more successful. The one who doesn't. So,
I would say the opposite. Anyway,
No, I wouldn't.
Right.
On
that note, Nick,
what are we doing here? What is this?
Exactly.
We're back in our usual surroundings this week, everyone, which is quite fun.
Yeah.
We're not in the same room anymore.
I miss it, mate. I miss it.
Do you?
Yeah, really, really do. It was so easy.
Oh, yeah, me too. No.
It was so nice and so easy. Just like, what are we doing today? Oh, should we do this? Yeah, cool. Job done. It was there. It was happening. I know you still did some research, but it was easier when we were together.
I didn't do as much, though, and I think that showed in those episodes.
Really?
But, yeah.
I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Well, when we had Dan Cox on, and we were looking stuff up on the Google net, and he said, maybe this is something you should have looked up before the episode. Maybe you should have done some research on this before we did the podcast. And I was thinking, exactly right.
Oh, wow.
We usually do.
Well, you usually do.
Yeah, I usually do. I did 2 episodes today, everyone. So we're recording our 100th later.
100th show. 100th show.
Yeah, I'll talk about that later.
Anyway, on that note, we've got a 99th show to do. We shouldn't get carried away, Nick. We can't do 100 if we've not done a 99. So, shall we? Sting me. Well then, Nick, this week's whiskey.
Well, Dave, it's actually a whiskey.
Whiskey.
With a G. Whiskey.
Whiskey. No, it is. Does that mean it's not real whiskey?
No, it is. We're getting to that. Whiskey. Whisgi, everyone. Anglesey Mon Distillery. Or Anglesey Mon Distillery.
Is it pronounced Mon?
M-O-N?
It's got a little accent on the top, mate. It's got a little hat on.
As well. I didn't see that accent. Mon.
Mon.
Anglesey Mon.
I have no idea what that accent does, but
This is fun. Yes, it's from Anglesey, everyone. Which,
that's in Wales.
yes, I didn't know it was an island until today.
I think I did.
I had no idea.
I think I did.
There's quite a big bump, everyone, at the top of Wales, which is actually an island, which is Anglesey. Never been, never zoomed in that far on Google Maps. That's 2 times Google's been mentioned in this podcast already. We should really cut down on that. Anyway,
Yes,
this is our second Welsh whiskey on the show. Back in episode 23, we did the Penderyn Celt. Do you remember?
This is another week second week in a row where this week's beverage has been donated by our friend. Oh, thank you. Beverage.
Yes.
It's a complete accident as well, but that's how it's turned out, isn't it?
That's how it's turned out. Hey, why
He
not?
doesn't buy us that much whiskey, but when he does, they go into consecutive shows.
And the other one he'd bought was a year and a half old. And this one he gave us last week. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
it was just complete coincidence. But there we go.
Are we sure this is a whiskey?
Yeah.
Right, the reason I say that is because the word whiskey, as we know it, whether you spell that without an E or with an E, isn't anywhere on the bottle, which would indicate they may be trying to avoid some form of customs.
Well, it has the Customs UK sticker on it.
But that's for alcohol.
Right, okay.
So therefore, is there some kind of, it's not really whiskey?
Well, it depends what regulations you're going to. It's only really
Absolutely
Scotch whiskey that has to be 3 years.
Oh, right, okay.
England, etc., Wales, I don't think technically has to, but most of them do go to that 3 year, do follow that. Yeah. So, yes, it's like in America, you can put something in a barrel for literally 10 minutes and they will call it whiskey.
Right.
Same thing here. I think it's just the up in Scotland where it actually is 3 years, just everywhere. And some other countries probably have regulations. But yeah, most people tend to follow that just as a bit of a just a marker, really. Hello, Editor Nick here. Remember what I said earlier on about doing your research before the podcast? Yeah. Well, let's clear a few things up here. Technically, what I just said is true. Back when Great Britain was in the EU, both England and Wales conformed to the EU regulations which govern the production of whiskey. Under EU law, whiskies must be matured for at least 3 years in wooden casks of 700 litres or less. They must be bottled at a minimum of 40% ABV and can be neither sweetened nor flavoured with any additives, apart from plain caramel for colouring. But of course, Great Britain is no longer part of the EU, so these rules no longer apply as far as I know. I found a couple of articles about discussions to regulate whisky standards in England and Wales, which I'll put in the show notes if you're interested. And as for American whiskey, it sounds crazy, but it's true. They can fill a cask with new make for a matter of minutes or even seconds and call it whiskey. But it does have to mature for at least 2 years to be able to use the term straight whiskey or straight bourbon, etc. That's as far as I'm going to go with that subject right now. So yeah, I just thought I'd clear that up. Back to our regular programming. But this is a very small operation, hence why there's not much information on it. So yes, it's whiskey.
Whiskey.
from Anglesey. This is basically made on a farm, really small batch. Anglesey Mon or Mon, or whatever that little bit means above the O. It's owned by David Thomas.
Brilliant. I mean, could you get... That's what I love about the Welsh. Welsh people love doubling down with their names, don't they? They're like saying, we are Welsh. We are not going to be anything other than Welsh. We're going to make it very obvious that we're Welsh.
Yes, and they spend twice as much on their road signs as everyone else just to keep that going. They could save so much money if they just put it in one language. I'm not saying it should be English, just, anyway.
It would still be very expensive if they just did the Welsh, though, because of how many extra letters everything seems to have. But anyway, not everything, but lots of things.
Yes, the land that forgot vowels. He uses spring water from his farm to make this.
Right.
And David spent time travelling around Scotland and he saw that farmers would use their own spring water, not only sell their own spring water, but use it to make spirits, etc. So he thought he'd have a go.
Of course.
Yes. These were first released back in 2018. They don't just make whiskey. It makes all kinds of stuff. It makes gin of all the flavours. Raspberry, blackberry, elderflower, marmalade. Marmalade gin. Excellent. It makes rum, brandy, different flavours of vodka, all kinds of stuff. It's not really distributed. He sells it at craft markets, etc. So it's super low batch. I was looking at an Instagram picture with all the bottles ready to be filled. And I think there was maximum 100 whiskey bottles in this batch. So it's super low. This is batch 6 we have here. And this was actually as well, North Wales' first whiskey release for 118 years.
Assuming it's whiskey.
Assuming this is whiskey. And I'm not sure whether, yeah. And I don't know where the line is for North Wales. We're talking 50-50 in the middle.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point, isn't it? You know, have that. I have that discussion about north south in England.
And you got the Midlands of Wales. I don't know. I don't go there much, to be honest. You know. You're very good point. Very good point. All right, so North Wales, whatever people define as North Wales, whatever North Wales is, 118 years. This was the first one. In terms of information on the bottle. There's not much. There's none. What have we got?
Let me help you out here, Nick. Right. So it says, this whiskey has been distilled and bottled by hand on our family farm using water drawn from the Anglesey spring, which has been filtered by an ancient layer of glacial gravel, matured in oak casks, giving the whiskey a unique quality and flavour.
There we go. That's literally all we got there. And that website, which is on there, no longer exists.
No way!
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's not... It's up for, if you want to buy it, Dave, you can buy it if you want to buy that domain.
Oh, that's special. That is.
The spring water one, angleseyspring.co.uk, is up there. So they're still making spring water, but they haven't kept up with the website, which is fine.
There's a phone. Have you tried phoning the phone number?
I haven't, mate, funnily enough.
Mate, why don't we do that now?
Oh, yeah, because I ring Lagavulin every week, just to see.
Shall I give him a call? I feel that's a bit harsh. If they don't know they're being recorded, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I won't do that.
Wow. This is from a.
We're a responsible podcast.
Yeah, we're not pranking. People. We're not going to phone up people out of the blue. I don't think we have the technology to do it properly. Anyway,
speakerphone.
Yeah. When this was launched, 2018, this is from an interview with David. We started the development of the whiskey a couple of years ago, and the first batch will be ready within the next few weeks, and will go on sale in the summer. The whiskey and rum has been stored at a site on the coast of Anglesey, with just the right climate for the barrels, temperature, and atmospheric wise. Now, that says to me, it's about, the first batch at least was about 2 years old at most. Because he said the development obviously needed to be distilled and then aged, essentially. This might be older. I don't know. There's no information. But that's what we're thinking.
Right, so we just get down to it then. I'm going to open one bottle.
Yeah. It's a good pop.
Oh, it is a good pop.
You're listening to Whisky and Things.
Right, just so Rish said, even when he gave it to us, said, I'm not sure about this one, guys. This could be awful. So who knows?
Well, the thing is about this, right? We don't know if it's 100% malted barley. We don't know. It doesn't say anywhere. It could have all kinds of grain in it, which is fine. It also says matured in oak casks. Again, don't know what. Is it ex-bourbon? I think they would have put that on there. Was it virgin oak? Don't know. Oak casks, giving the whiskey a unique quality and flavour. So again, we don't know much about it.
On the nose, I like this, Nick.
Me too.
I would have a scented candle of this any day of the week. This has got that woody quality to it, that almost hazelnutty vibes to it that we've had before. It's not something we've not smelt before. This is definitely a smell we've had before. I couldn't tell you which whiskey, but there are other whiskies we have tried that have had a similar smell, and it's pleasant. You can definitely smell the wood, right?
Yeah, it is oaky. It is oaky.
This is the kind of one that you would refer to as furniture polish.
Yeah, I can see that. It's more fruity than I was expecting.
It is also more fruity. Yeah, absolutely. It's not quite Christmas cake, but it's getting there.
It does have a citrus edge.
This is the gift that keeps giving on the nose. Oh, Nick's gone in.
I've gone in. I've got time, mate. 2 shows.
Okay, well, that is actually very unique.
I did have a bit of Nick's special time earlier.
Did you?
I had to photograph the bottle, so I'd pour the glass.
Oh, of course. Right.
And I was pleasantly surprised, as I am again now, actually. It's not offending me.
It's not offending me at all.
I'm not angry at it, mate.
No, not at all. This is a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
It's definitely a thing. I mean, in terms of what it says on the bottle, a unique quality and flavour, they've absolutely smashed their tasting notes.
Smash the description.
Yeah, it's a unique quality and flavour.
I'm not sure how many times it's been distilled. He has 4 very small stills, which he makes everything in. All his, his whiskey, his gin. I don't know how vodka's made. Probably the same. Let's really look into that. But yeah.
It's potatoes, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you can make vodka out of a few things, I think.
I thought I've always been told
just
it was potatoes. Look, mate, this is a podcast. You can say what you want and get away with it, right? So, as we'll just
go online later and apologise.
Yeah, exactly. Do a little video. Fine. Everything's all right. We've been told. Directive from above. Say what you want. Anyway.
Colouring. I doubt it. I doubt it
maybe.
very much. I doubt it. With a batch of 100 or
Why would you bother?
Why would you bother? Also, basically, listeners, I have a little checklist thing I have every week where, distillation, mash bill, cask type, etc.
Age
colouring.
Owners.
Yeah.
Price.
Region. Yes. Here we have chill filtered as well. And I doubt it simply because I don't think it's even been filtered because mine has bits floating in it. Have you got bits floating in yours, Dave?
Let me check.
You see any white bits floating in it?
Mine doesn't have bits floating in it. Mine is clearly purer than yours. But it is a bit cloudy.
Okay. Is it cold in your flat?
It hasn't been, no. But
yeah.
Not massively cloudy, but it's not super clear. It might be the sticky label actually that's doing that. I'm not sure.
But yeah, that could be down to not.
Oh no, from the bottom it's not cloudy. All right, there you go.
Yeah, not being chill filtered and only 40%. That could be something to do with that. But yes, anyway, mine does have bits floating in it, which to be honest, I'm absolutely fine with.
Makes it more authentic, mate.
Yeah, none of my other whiskies have things floating in it. It's like I've got more.
See, even from here on the webcam, I'm looking at yours and it looks a bit cloudy, but I think it might be the see-through label. It does look a bit. It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, how much is this, Nick? I mean, you always put a question mark by this because you might like me, or I like to guess.
Yes. Small batch. You can only really buy it from markets, so I believe they do 2 sizes. They do a 20 cl and a 50, which we have here.
We got the 50.
Yeah. How much would you pay for it, Dave?
If I was at a market in Wales and this was the local produce, I wouldn't be disappointed to pay £40 for it.
£40?
Yes, because it's a local business, independent, so on and so forth. I wouldn't expect it to be able to compete with the lower prices that the bigger companies that can get the benefit of economies of scale, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that's what I would assume this would be, no lower than £40. If it is lower, then what corners have they cut?
I don't think they would have cut corners. I think maybe that's a...
So it's lower?
It's much lower.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe they've got lower costs in that part of the world. I don't know.
I mean, if they're not paying for distribution, then maybe that could be a big cut of it. Yeah. If they're doing it all on their own.
Anyway, it's 24 quid.
24 quid?
50 cl, yeah. 24 quid. Or you can make
That's really... All right,
yeah.
so, okay, so...
£12 for your 20 cl.
Oh, that's pretty... Well, all right.
It's a nice little memento to come away with if you're up there.
I was probably doing my 40 quid based on a 70 cl bottle, not a 50 cl bottle, in fairness.
Yes. That's a good
I wouldn't
point.
be too
Did I tell you
far.
that first?
You did, and I just still went with 70 cl bottle.
Yeah, that would have
pricing.
been an expensive, yeah.
So I think, that would have been around 30. Based on that, it would have been somewhere in the 30s, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So...
But 24 quid, I think, is not bad.
I still think 24 quid is great value for this, for a 50 cl. Because it's interesting. It's different. Is it whiskey? It's whiskey-ish.
It's whiskey. I don't know what's in it, but,
Yeah, I mean, the lack of information. I can't get my head around this flavour. Full disclosure, I burnt my tongue on some soup earlier, so I don't know if I've got any taste buds. But
Oh, brilliant.
I mean, there is a flavour there,
So
but I don't know what it is. It's not. It really is unlike any drink we've had.
We've had some stuff like it.
Well,
It does taste young to me, but it's not like.
I think
don't
it
know.
might have been triple distilled
Why?
because
Again-
it's got a bit of a Jameson's quality to it. Have some more, Nick. Try some more. Think of Jameson's.
It doesn't have the vanilla-y, caramelly, shortbready Jameson's for me. It's something else in there. It's a bit more fruity, a bit more raisiny, a bit more cakey.
But in terms of texture,
It felt a bit, not using the word flat, it felt a bit deflated when I had my first dram of it.
did you put some air in it?
Yes, I carbonated it. I put it in the soda stream. It's now fizzy. But this is quite nice. I think it's great for a little local thing. You know, last week we were the Lagavulins, you know, you're double matured and all that. And then this week we're going with a really grassroots little farm one, which I like.
I also like. I think this is nice. I think this is. I'm so impressed by that price for something such a small operation. I think that's amazing. It does make me dubious about what we're actually drinking, but at the same time, if you just want to support a local independent farm and this is being offered, bear in mind it's pleasant to drink.
Yeah.
You can't really knock it, can you?
Yeah. Can you imagine going on a little trip to Anglesey, right? Seeing this, picking it up for 24 quid, and you can just do this in a night and be like, that was a really good night.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And
You
you
know?
wouldn't be disappointed, would you? You
You
would
wouldn't
not
feel
be
guilty.
disappointed. No.
You wouldn't be disappointed and you wouldn't feel guilty in the morning.
And you've
that you've-
supported a local farmer in Anglesey.
Yeah. And you got bits in it.
Bit of Anglesey for the road.
What is that? It looks
Does
like,
it come off the cork?
I don't know. It's not. It's like it's almost like white fluff.
Brilliant. Is it sheep wool?
Maybe it's sheep wool. I don't know what they produce on the farm apart from water. It didn't say. It is
If
odd.
anyone listening has ever had this, we would love to hear from you. If anyone listening knows more about this, we would love to hear from you. But thank you, Rish, for getting it for us. Because it's interesting
Yeah.
and pleasant.
Trying to take a picture of my my fluff.
Of your bits.
Yeah.
Nick's taking a photo of his bits for the gram.
Tell you what, I'll do a video so you can see him moving.
Oh, he's going to do a video of his moving bits for the gram.
There's our bits. Quite a few bits.
This is the content you came here for.
You're welcome. It's 99. What do you expect? We are tired.
No, we're not, Nick. I'm feeling pretty refreshed, actually.
Anyway, that's enough of that.
Woo! Woo. Right, so whiskey from Anglesey gets a thumbs up from us.
And from me. But I'm part of us. I was trying to rhyme.
Sting me.
Whiskey?
Right, Nick, serious question. We're at show 99. Do you wish we'd done some kind of scoring system on the whiskies we've done since the start so we could have a chart or a spreadsheet?
No, to be honest. That would have meant, doing extra work every week, And what? Most of them would have been in the 90s because we like everything.
This not true. But, so that we could say this sits alongside
Yeah, but we do that in flavour profile and stuff.
Bladnock.
We don't do it in terms of quality or how we think they are because whiskey's different for everyone. So, a 90 or a 95 might be different for us than it is for somebody else. And depending how we're feeling that day, our palate, etc. I'd rather do this
Does
one
that mean
alongside in terms of vibe.
Does that mean that you don't care at all for anyone else's scoring systems?
No, because most people who I look at for their scoring systems I respect.
Oh, thanks very much.
I'm talking about myself there, man.
You don't
not
respect me. You don't respect yourself, man.
If you want to start a scoring system, you go ahead.
Well, it feels a bit late now. We've done 100.
No, we haven't. We've done 99.
Well, we've done more than 100 whiskies, though. Think about it.
Oh yeah, plenty.
All right, from 101, I'm going to start a scoring system.
Are you really?
And we can say that it's taken us 100 episodes to figure out how we wanted to do our scoring system, which gives me 2 weeks to figure out how to do our scoring system.
Are we going to do a really awkward one like Jeff Whisky?
Oh, yeah, we'll do a Jeff
6?
Whisky style. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be some kind of weird number.
Yeah. Out of 11, how
We
does this
might be
smell?
out of 99 because 99 was the episode we decided to start doing it. So I might call it the 2 Dead Swan scoring system.
Okay, it's an
See what I did
interesting
there?
proposition.
Full circle there, Nick. Full
That's cool.
circle.
Yeah.
How many dead swans do you give this? See what I did there?
Yeah, I'm not sure I like it, but I see what you did there. And we'll talk about that off air.
But also, actually, listeners, this is a good thing. If you're looking at scoring systems, and Nick, this is a good question for you as well, as someone who does look to people's scoring systems every now and then. If you're looking at a scoring system, what are you looking for? I know Jeff Whisky does the value for money on his, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is something we always talk about it being value for money. But what are you doing? Experience, nose, point for nose, points for finish. How many categories should we do?
Yes. You can either have 4 categories and have them in, points out of 25, or you can have 5 points out of 20.
Out of 10.
So you got nose, palate, finish. I think value for money, and I think overall or something. If you want 5, it's depending really.
Yeah.
That's the main way of doing it, I think. So that's probably unless we want to have some really outlandish way of doing it, just to be different, Dave.
Just to be different.
Is that the kind of podcast we are? Are we trying to be different, or just worse?
Mate, we're just trying to be ourselves because that's what's really cool.
That is what's really cool. What's that from? Is that from a film?
Oh, it is from a film. Just
It
be
is, isn't
yourself,
it?
man, because that's what's really... Oh, that's going to bug me now. What film is that from? It's not Wayne's World, is it?
No, that's what's really cool. I don't know.
Because that's what's really cool.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm going to have to because
I don't want to mention Google for a third time.
I'm going to use Bing.
Use Ask Jeeves. Is that still around?
Movie quote. Yeah, okay. Starsky and Hutch.
Really? What, the new one?
Yeah. I thought it might be.
That's
It was when-
funny.
Yes, it was. It was when he was dressed up. He turned up in a cowboy outfit. Yeah. And he then starts preaching to all the people in the bar. Don't pretend to be some of your nut. Just be yourself, because that's what's really cool.
I remember now. Yeah.
He says as he's dressed up as someone else.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. We got there.
Yeah.
I was going to say I thought it was Ben Stiller, but
That's a
bottled it.
Stiller vibe. Yes. As we were saying, have we said it yet? Don't know, probably. Next week is our 100th show. We're actually recording that this evening. So
Which means we don't have to record next week. Brilliant. Cheers. Thanks for coming.
don't have to see it. Yeah, cheers. So yes, we've got an audience.
Mate, which is actually really nice for you, because it means you don't have to record on Valentine's Day. I know that's a big day for you. You can spend
it's
a
a
lot of
massive
time
day.
opening the post. The postman brings the huge bags of post.
Yeah, I live on the
to your
first
door.
floor flat, so carrying those sacks up the stairs,
Oh, it's a nightmare for him. Yeah, I really feel for him.
absolute nightmare.
Yeah. You used to love it when you were at the Muse. You could just drop it at the front door,
Yeah, I had a winch.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
the balcony.
but to the balcony.
Just swing them in and then have a good old day in the dressing
Great
gown,
day.
just opening my post.
Yeah. All the little chocolate treats you got. You
mate.
loved it.
Oh, mate, yeah,
Loved it.
That's a thing.
That's why you go carbless the rest of the year, isn't it? Just for that one day.
Yeah, it pretty much is. It's the only reason why I kick, chocolates and carbs in January. So just waiting for February to come around.
So now you know. You don't have to worry about it. Don't have to worry about it next week. You can spend a whole day in your dressing gown
There you go,
enjoying
listeners.
yourself
That's what I'll be doing. Opening
on Valentine's Day.
all my
Your posts.
All my posts.
All your posts. Yes.
It's going to be pink and red envelopes
For those
everywhere.
of you who would like to help, we're going to put Nick's address on the show. It's this week. Dear. Getting the impression that Nick doesn't want that to happen.
Number one, Are you kidding?
Manchester. Brilliant. Okay.
Yes.
And on that note,
Yeah.
yes, 100th show later.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, with an audience of our patrons, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah. All sipping a nice dram of something. If you want to get involved for the next time we do something like this, just go to patreon.com/whiskey and things for more information. Everyone. But
It's been every 25 shows so far, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, it's every 25. I think
we've done some kind of Patreon event. Whiskey tasting every 50.
Yeah, we did 53 because it was our year anniversary. So it's 25 or it's on the year or 2 year.
Does that mean we're coming up to 2 years?
Yeah, March.
Of course
I
it
think it'll be.
does.
Yeah.
What are we doing for that?
I don't know, mate.
We'll have to think of a scoring system.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Oh, that could be it.
Yeah. Out of 200.
Nick looks really enthusiastic about scoring systems.
I'm fine with it. It'll be out of 101.
Yeah,
And you get
there
that
you go.
one extra one if, you spell whiskey right on the bottle.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway.
I like that.
Shall we get out of here?
Yeah, let's. The Angels have had their share, I think.
And so have you, listeners. 99 episodes down. See you next week for number 100.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks very much. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for coming. Cheers.
Cheers for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Whiskey and Things has been brought to you by And Things.